welcome. Welcome to the Whole Division podcast. It's so nice to have you
Thank you
on.
so much
Um,
for having me,
no,
honestly.
you're welcome. You're welcome because I want to hear about this. I want to hear about everything because I'll tell you straight
Yeah.
from now. Yeah, like I am a fan. I'm 100% a fan. Like I'm just a big fan of what
Oh,
you
wow.
do. It's so like it's just inspiring and it's nice to see. It's just lovely to see a group of beautiful human beings come together and create some magic through music. It's magical. I love that.
Thank you, sis. No, honestly, we
Absolutely love
appreciate you.
it.
Like I said to you earlier and yesterday, like the feedback that we get is really what pushes us. Do you know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like we do it
yeah,
anyway, but to hear it is no, it's like, yeah, we're on the right track. You know,
yeah. No, it's
honestly,
good because it gives you the motivation. It definitely gives you motivation.
always.
Um, but yeah, so I've got a couple of questions for you. Um, so now, but first off, I just wanted to ask you, big up yourself, Avi.
Yes,
Avi, each and
every
every time
time,
she's building. Love
every
Avi.
time. Thank
Avi,
you,
if you
AB.
want to join, my brother, you can join because you're on a music thing too, so you
Yeah, he
can join.
is. He's doing bits. He's
He's
doing
doing it.
bits.
He's doing really well.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just wanted to know. So first off,
Mhm.
I wanted you to introduce yourself.
Yes.
Tell me who you are before we
Okay.
go into T.A.W.
Yes. So I a few people know me, but if you don't, I'm Kanika. I'm part of T.A.W. T.A.W's First Lady, literally from the abundant one. So yeah, my position is a few things actually. I'm an artist as well as artist manager, as well as going into the A&R side as well, slowly but surely. So I'm slowly creeping into that side a little bit more. I just feel because I have the forte and I know what it is, that artists
Mhm.
need, want, and my own wants as well. I feel
Yeah.
like I can definitely push that into others. So we
Okay.
also have artists on our roster that we manage. We have about 5 artists at the moment that we're
Okay.
working with. A lot of people will see them anywhere on the flyers. We always rock with them. Sometimes they're performing, or sometimes it's just me and Chancey. But yeah, so I do everything really. I do everything.
A, a,
Obviously, the social
a
media
woman of
side.
many talents.
Yeah, social media side. So a few people obviously be more than likely speaking to me,
Yeah.
messaging and everything else, and uploading across TikTok and yeah. So everything really. Yeah.
Well, that's amazing. I think when you're doing anything creative, it's always good to know the different aspects and the different sides to it.
Yeah.
Because I think, sometimes when you're doing something and I've been doing this podcast since 2000, we started in lockdown, and it was like, I've always kind of handled everything behind it because, when you get other people to
Yeah.
do things, sometimes it's just long. It's so long and you're waiting on people and but I think if you can just learn the different things yourself
Yeah.
and do it yourself, you ain't really got it's don't get me wrong, it's
Yeah.
hard. The workload is heavy.
Definitely.
See what I did there? You see what
Definitely.
I did there?
I
But
see
yeah.
this.
No, listen, let me just please let me touch on that tune, yeah, Breakum. Guys, if you have not listened to that tune,
Didn't want it.
Breakum,
Didn't want it. Didn't want
it
it.
yeah, listen, don't piss me off. It's such a banger, yeah. Like I think I messaged you and I said to you, just see when I'm at the gym and I ain't got
Yeah.
no energy left in me, I will
Yeah.
put that tune on, and that tune just
Love
makes
that.
me want to
Love
listen.
that. Trust me.
Energy,
And it's
energy.
full vibes. It's a full vibes. I feel like it speaks so many volumes. If you know you've listened to the track, then you'll just know what it's about. You know what I mean? It's like, didn't want to take it there. Like, we're not having it. We're breaking the chains. It's about
Yeah,
freedom. We're pushing for elevation, motivation. Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
equality as well. It's important for us as well as Black people. We're heavy on that. That's why we've got the
cool.
colours that we have in our logo. Like, it's so much to T.A.W. Like, we could be here all night, trust me. But yeah, we push for hard for our people. You know what I mean? Like, if you're
Yeah,
really woke and you're really spiritually connected, you're really pre what we're really saying in our lyrics. So yeah,
yeah,
that's
yeah.
what we stand for.
And And definitely with that tune Breakum, yeah, like I felt it in it. Like like when you dropped that, I was like, oh my god, and big up everybody on that track
Yeah,
because everybody
yeah,
did a share, did their bit. You get me, Chancey done his thing, you did your thing, you did it
yeah.
amazingly.
Thank you.
I forget what's the other
ADM.
guy's name on there.
Big up
That's
ADM.
it,
Yeah,
yeah. And
ADM.
it's good that you've all got your different flows and your different,
Yes.
you're all different, you're all lyrically inclined in different ways, and you all put
Yeah.
it together, and
Yeah.
it's amazing, amazing.
That's what it's about, you know what I mean? Big up Chef every time. She is so
Oh yeah,
talented. Her
very,
voice is beautiful. Obviously, big up
very,
Fancy Chance.
yeah.
He's like he's everything. So he's like a cameraman, CEO, editor. Like he does everything. He's definitely an entrepreneur. And obviously, we've got our little baby brother as well. Shouldn't say that. He'll be like a baby.
Yeah.
But ADM, big him up every time. He's so woke for his age. Or of 19, I think he is going on 20 soon.
Wow, only
Yeah,
19.
his lyrical content is just crazy.
Yeah,
Like people take him in more. You'll hear like he's speaking things his age shouldn't even be speaking. You know what I mean? So we connect with
yeah,
him differently. So yeah, it was a big tune, and we're glad to drop it. And yeah, we're just doing bits of it. I'm pushing it as well. We've got to
yeah,
push it a bit more. So
yeah. Well,
yeah.
I'm here. I'll push it for you. Do you know what I'm saying?
Thank
Because it's such a tune. We love that tune in my house. So yeah, man, it's a hit here. But
Yeah.
yeah, so I wanted to ask you as well.
Yeah.
What is the origin of TAW? How did it start? How did it begin?
Well, so taking it back, like even before me, so Chancey Chance, everyone knows Chancey Chance. He's like the
Yeah.
founder of the Abundant Ones T.A.W. His name was originally the Abundant One
Okay.
when
Yeah.
he had Straightwave. So he had a whole company
Yeah.
from Straightwave before, if you know, back from Share Days and stuff. So that was before me.
Yeah.
And so he was pushing it, the abundant one, the abundant one, the abundant one. He was just pushing it. And when I met him, when we actually worked on music together as well, we're taking it back like nearly 4 years now.
Wow.
Yeah, we've been rocking for a minute. He hollered at me, said, "Look, I like to flow. Let's get on a track together. We want to work." So we started working. And so we spoke about, he said like, "I want to start this movement. You know what I mean? I
Yeah.
want I want to start this team. I want to just get everything together and stuff like that." So I was like, "Okay. So what should I do?" You know what I mean? Which he obviously is like, "Listen, I want you to be an artist as well as, artist manager as well." But artist manager didn't really start so quickly. It was more just an artist side. So he was managing me.
Okay.
Through my
Okay.
yeah, exactly. So he was managing me, obviously doing all my shoots for my music. If you know motherhood that I've got there. Um, what else have I got? Keep It Real. A few other ones as well that's there that I've got on the TAW. Everyone can find it there. So he started doing that for me, and then slowly started creeping into the artist manager side as well as artistry. So some people might see me, I'm there supporting the guys, but then as well as I'm performing as well. And the
Yeah.
same with Chancey. Chancey either be performing or he'll be behind the camera
Yeah.
or even the
Yeah. He
studio
does a
side.
lot, innit?
Yeah. So again, we get it when we say like it takes a team to create a movement. You know what I mean? Like we've
100%.
got Cabby as well that does the camera stuff, and we've got, like I said, 5 artists that we're rocking with at the moment. So between us, we are a whole collective. We like to say that we're a creative agency. So the
Yeah.
creative agency is TAW Movements Ltd. That's who that
Okay.
is. So it's a bit of confusion, but TAW stands for the Abundant Ones. So the
Okay.
Abundant Ones are the artists. So when we step out and we introduce ourselves, we are the Abundant Ones. But
Yeah.
yet we're under obviously TAW Movement Ltd. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's a whole creative agency where we do videos and photography and mixing and mastering, studio time, anything that we need to support an artist, that we need for
Yeah.
ourselves, we supply it. So that is where TAW movements comes into it. But yeah, the artist music side is the Abundant Ones. So yeah,
Okay. Okay.
it's a lot going on. Yeah,
No, but I mean, there's a lot going on, but do you know what? It's what's needed. I
yeah,
think if you're going to start, there's a difference between a group of people coming together and just saying things and then not really doing
yeah.
anything, and then
Yes.
a group of people coming together and creating an actual
Mhm.
movement. You get me? I've been following you guys for time now, and I see what you're doing. I see the energy you're putting out there, and I do believe I'm a very big believer in energy. Everything is energy,
Yeah,
yeah, and I feel like you said, if you're spiritually inclined or if you're awake
yeah,
on a certain frequency,
yeah.
you'll understand. People will
Hmm.
understand what you're doing.
Yeah,
You get me? And they'll feel it because you feel. I believe you feel things before you see them. Do you get
definitely,
me? So
definitely. There's a whole
yeah,
vibration.
yes,
You
yeah,
know, and that's why when we through the music as well, we make sure it's vibesy, we make sure you can feel it, we make sure the beat's good. Like we resonate with it hard and heavy. So
yeah,
it's only right that we push it out and make sure it does the same. you know. So
Yeah,
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 it's
but
all about the
yeah,
vibrations.
man. Well, the vibrations are definitely coming through in your music, and the energy is definitely there. It's right up there. It's of a very high frequency, and it feels very good. And like music means so much to me. Like it's meant a lot to me throughout my life.
Yeah,
Like I play piano,
same.
I play violin and stuff, and I just feel
Okay.
like, yeah, I know people look at me and they're like, you don't look like you play violin. I
Yeah.
said, how am I supposed to look
That's
though? I
insecure,
don't get it.
like,
You get me?
love
But yeah,
it.
man, it's like the music. It's very very
Yeah,
healing, and especially when you're coming from a certain place or a certain demographic, yeah, and you can put words out there and people will
yeah,
resonate with those words.
yeah,
I think that's what it is about music is when people can actually feel it and they can relate to it and
definitely,
relate to what you're saying. Because
definitely,
yeah, of course, because sometimes when you listen to a song and you think, "Right, I've been in that place. I've been
hundred
where
percent.
where the words are."
100%.
So yeah,
You know, when
yeah,
you're in certain emotions anyway, you put on, you might put like an R&B or,
yeah.
you might put on when you're feeling it's a little hip hop or, you know what I'm saying? So it's the same thing. And the same thing that we make sure that what we're lyrically saying hits. You
Yeah.
know, we don't want to be those typical artists, so to speak, no judgment. But we don't want to be those artists that are just speaking anything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I
Yeah.
feel like the
Yeah.
older you get, you have your time and place for that. Don't get me wrong, but I feel like where we are, we need to be making sure it's hitting, and we're next generation to follow because we have other generations in the team as well. So we have the first gen, the second gen, and the third gen,
Okay.
and that goes down to like babies. Do you know what I mean?
Oh,
And
yes,
that's babies of
I've seen,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. So we're more than just what you see. You just see the first gen, obviously parent because they were all adults, and a little bit of the second gen.
Yeah.
So like you have Terrell Bachelor and you have ADM and you have Cabby. They're more like the second gen because they're a bit younger. They're in their 20s and late teens.
Yeah.
But then you have the under 18s, which is all the babies. So my daughters and yeah, all the other godchildren and yeah, there's a lot. There's a
That's
lot. So we're riding. We want to
beautiful.
push out that, it's important.
Yeah. So it's like it's a family. Do you know what I mean? And I
Yeah,
think
big
when
family.
when you see things like that, that's the beauty of it, is when it can pass down throughout the generations. And especially like the younger ones, they're gonna remember that. They're gonna grow up on that and think, do you get me? I grew up on good vibrations.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
And obviously we're
It's
in an era
beautiful.
where we got YouTube, we've got stuff that we can replay back. Like when we
Yeah,
was young, I'm sure. There's not really much you can look back and say, oh, like I had a video of myself doing, do you know what I mean? It's like it
yeah,
had to be somewhere. And which is sad as well. That's why I think this generation is so blessed
yes,
because they have the footage to be like, oh, I can go back in 20 years' time and say, that's look what I was in and look what I was doing. Do you know what I mean?
yeah.
So it's only right that we put them in our videos and our music and do stuff and make memorable moments. So yeah, like we
No,
love what we
I
do,
do.
honestly.
Yeah, it's a beautiful thing. And Meltme says vibrations can connect, and that's, of course, definitely. I
Being on the
think,
same
you know,
end.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah, I think everything is based on energy, vibrations, frequency, those
definitely.
kind of things. So yeah, I definitely do. And talking about saying on that, it helps me kind of go into something that I wanted to talk about. So I
Yeah.
did have a question for you, and
Okay.
it was, do you think certain types of music influence antisocial behavior and criminal activity? What are your thoughts on that?
So it's crazy actually because Cher was actually doing Mind, Body and Soul
Yeah,
podcast from like
yeah,
yeah, 2021. And we spoke to
yeah,
that as well. And I'm heavy on it when I say the vibrations of the beat of the music and what you're lyrically talking can have a chemical reaction on the brain. Like, I don't care what anyone says. For me, it's a thing. When you put on that raging music, it's gonna
yeah,
raise your tempos, especially if you're in an angry space. To be
yeah.
like, yo, I want, do you know what I mean? And the
Hmm.
same if you're in a sad energy space or whatever it is, and you hear R&B music, again, it's gonna make you either be a bit more sadder or you're gonna have a bit of motivation to be like, I got this.
Yeah,
You know what I
yeah,
mean? It's another day, another dollar. We move, we're still
yeah,
living, we're still breathing, we've got health. But I'm definitely heavy on saying the vibration of the music is, creating a lot of negative energy. Again, I get it as well because it's not all. I'm not gonna blame drill completely because I've touched on a few drill beats, so it's not
yeah,
always the beat. It is also the lyrical content that they're putting in.
yeah.
You know what I
Yeah,
mean? I'm not gonna always blame the beat and blame drill, because I'm not gonna shut it down like that at all, because I feel like some of the beats are hard.
yeah,
You know, some of them drill beats, they be kicking, they be, they be doing bits, but yeah, it's what you're also hearing. It's
yeah.
the
The
words that's
concept is
implemented to
wild
the beat.
sometimes.
Yeah, and it's just like, whoa, that's them gonna make you. Just like when they said when kids was younger, don't put them on, GTA or Grand Theft Auto or
Yeah,
whatever it is, because you see things and you're gonna want to go out and do it, right? The same
yeah,
with the music as well. It's like you hear things and you're gonna want to go and do it because you think it's cool to do. So
yeah.
it's a bit of both, really. It really is a bit of both, as well as the beat and the lyrical content. Yeah.
And I think, yeah, man, because I like, do you get me? I've been in certain situations. Sometimes if I'm driving, I
Mm.
really have to be vigilant about what I'm listening to when I'm driving,
Yes.
because I'll listen to certain things and I think, "Bro, I'm driving a bit mad because the music does carry you and it does
Yeah, you
influence
start
you. Like, and
swinging that knee back and
yeah, you're thinking some type of way, and you're thinking. Sometimes I gotta sit back and think, yo, I'm driving a bit mad here. Let me calm down, innit? Let me put on some Jill Scott or some shit and just wind down.
100%.
It's crazy. It is crazy, and it's definitely the wordplay. You have to be so careful with the wordplay because
Yeah.
I think, especially the younger generation,
Yeah.
and with music, it's like it feeds the soul. So
Mm-hmm.
if it's repetitive, it's like a mantra. So if you're
Mm-hmm.
listening to a certain tune over and over again, you're going to take in those
Yeah.
words and you're going to sometimes it kind of alters your
Yeah.
personality and how
Right.
you act.
Yeah,
And you
definitely.
might think you're a bad man or a bad gal or whatever and do certain things just because you're influenced by a
Right. Just
certain
because
type
you've
of
heard it and
music.
you just you just got a little boost. It's not that.
Yeah,
It's not that. It's really, you don't have to act out what you hear. But if you're weak minded, unfortunately, that will be a thing.
yeah,
That's why you have to be, if that's your thing and that's what you don't like to, then you like to listen to that, then cool. But make sure your mind can, differentiate the difference now. Like, know that
yeah,
reality is reality. And fiction is fiction. It's just that, some people want to speak it because they've been through it, but
yeah.
doesn't mean they need to act upon it. But each to their own, really.
No,
Yeah.
it's true. And then going back to the drill music thing as well, like
Yeah.
I feel like now especially drill the hype thing because I feel like a lot of the artists that actually do drill, these up and coming artists, they
Yeah.
haven't even really lived that life to even know what they're saying. They're just chatting a bag of shit just to say it, and just to put it in a song. But then what they don't realize is that it is actually influencing another generation,
Definitely.
especially them teenagers. See those ones who are in high school and that they're so. I just feel like they just so they're easily manipulated, and
Definitely.
it's quite
And
scary how
they're
easily
lost.
manipulated they
I
are.
would say
Yeah,
they're
yeah,
lost because remember, we're living in a generation where everything is done on social media.
yeah,
You know what I mean? It's not like back when we was younger, we'd go out and you socialize with friends, right? You'd go to
yeah,
like venture playgrounds and stuff like that. Like I went to community centers and things.
yeah.
Now everything's behind a screen.
Awful.
And when you do step out, you're on a rage thing,
Yeah,
or you're just going to school just about, or do you know what I mean? There's no social connection, there's no
no,
connecting and everything else. It's just either you're out there on the roads or you're in your house.
yeah,
So it is sad. It's just, yeah, it's a lot of things, but it is sad. Yeah, these kids, honestly, to be honest, they are lost. But I feel like, again, with us as mentors and motivational speakers and, allowing them to see a bit more of the real
yeah.
can help, can make a difference, some shape or form. So,
Yeah,
yeah, I'm heavy on that.
and it is crazy because I've worked with children for 13 years and
Wow.
I've just literally started I've started working for myself now and
Amazing.
I do NLP coaching and I had to do a talk last week it was to a group of 15-year-olds
Yeah.
and I was talking to them about the mind and the law of attraction and about how what we think we become and everything that sometimes we have to be really vigilant with our words and the way that
Yeah,
we present ourselves and the frequency that we're vibrating on as well. Because
definitely.
you know what I mean? It can be so like you can speak like you're bad or speak in a certain way, but you're not really about that life underneath.
Uh,
And a lot of these young people are anxious. They're really anxious. And they just live in this kind of it's like a false identity to try
Yeah,
and fit in to a world that they think is actually real, but it's not. It's
that's
so
it. It's peer pressure.
yeah,
Come on, we all been there. Your friends are, oh, do that and do that and do that, and if you're not a leader, you know, you haven't been drummed into your brain like I'm a leader, I'm not a
yeah,
follower, then you will follow. You know what I mean? You will
100%.
follow just to look cool, just to be that person. So I tell my children all the time, I say, listen, yeah, lead. You know, like
Yeah,
lead. Don't follow anybody. If you know mum, you know, number one is not gonna be okay with
yeah,
that, or you know,
yeah,
like don't do it. Do you know what
yeah.
I mean? If you feel in your heart like I wouldn't do this on a normal occasion,
Mm,
don't do it. So
mm.
I try to push that as well. You know, I think even more so, it's not just the boys; it is the girls as
It's
well.
the girls
You
as well,
know, so I have to
100%.
push both sides. I'll never just put it on all the young men.
Yeah,
Definitely not, because it
because
is the girls as
that's what they
well.
do. They do that, and it's like a lot of the focus is saying, you know, on the young
Yeah.
men and stuff.
Yeah.
But some of these girls, you know, like I've got a daughter. My daughter's 16 now, yeah,
Yeah.
and she's in her last year of high school and stuff.
Uh,
And you know, some of the badness I see, some of the stuff that she comes home and tells me about some of these girls in her school, and I'm
okay.
like, yeah, this is
Yeah.
worrying, you know,
You
because
gotta get tanks.
yeah,
You have to get tanks if you have a good girl, guys. My
yeah,
twins,
I'm lucky. I'm so
yeah,
lucky.
literally. My twins are 16 and my eldest is 18.
Wow.
So
No way have
yeah,
you got an
yeah,
18-year-old. Stop it.
yeah. My eldest daughter is 18. So
Oh my God.
I'm
You look
really,
so young
yeah,
yourself.
yeah. I won't put my age out there, guys, but you know, do
Yeah,
the
we don't talk
maths.
about our age. When to go do a certain thing, we don't age ain't nothing. You know what I'm saying? But yeah,
Do
man,
the
that's
maths. Yeah, literally. But you know, I'm grateful daily for how my children are. You know, they don't like to go outside, and if they do, they let me know where they
yeah,
are, and you know,
yeah,
they just know. Obviously, teenagers will be teenagers and just pull the buttons a little bit.
yeah,
That's
of
normal. But
course.
generally speaking, considering the children out there, they are so humble, and I'm so grateful. You know, and I just let
Yeah,
them know you have to be your own leader. You cannot follow.
yeah,
It's not
you
even
have to.
safe.
Yeah.
You know.
Mm.
So
And we
it's
have
really
to, we
hard.
really do have to raise it. I think, you know, I think the majority, I always believe or hope that this
Mm.
next generation are going to be the ones to change that pattern. Because I don't know, like when you think about it from when we were younger and then you look at it now, it was so different. And social media does, I think social media plays a massive part in the way people are and the way they act. And it's crazy that it has that much of an impact on, you know, on the world. I know we need it. Yeah, we need it. But I think, you know, you can use it for
Yeah.
positive things, like, you know, like yourself, you with
Yeah.
T.A.W. putting positive vibrations out there. But unfortunately, a lot of people use it for madness as well.
But
For madness.
can't lie, the stuff I've seen that pop up on Instagram and TikTok and Facebook and everything else, I'm like, do you know the
Scary.
big could be like, you know, even the TV. Sometimes I
Yeah,
question like, is this meant to be on at this time of evening or you know what I mean? Because it's like, hello, because it's like really, I don't get it. I feel like anytime anything is pushed out there, these kids, their innocent minds are just as soon as they see it, the innocence has been taken away.
it's
You know what I
gone.
mean? Like
Yeah,
down to anything that is above 18 or anything that's really over 18 because they shouldn't just be seeing it. You know what I mean? It's like
yeah.
the music, even the content. Sometimes my children are playing like, you know, the Valiant and the vibes, and I'm just like, oh my God. You know, it makes you feel a bit. Can you put on the clean version, please? That's a bit, you know, because they're not there yet. Even though they're over age, I get it. But to me, they're still young, you know. And
Yeah,
I
they're
think you
still
realize
young.
that when you reach, and I start thinking like, gosh, I sound like my mum. But it's true.
No,
You
but it's
you get to an
real.
age where you think your mind's not ready to hear that. Do you know what
Yeah.
I mean? Where even if you think you're grown enough to hear it, you're not
Mm,
ready. You know what I mean? You're still trying to navigate to find yourself. And I
yeah.
feel like until one can find themselves, it's like you shouldn't even be listening to anything apart from positive vibrations, positive
Yeah.
influences, because you need to continue to find yourself without negative influences. And
Yeah.
that's what the issue is. You know, that is really what the issue is.
Yeah. There's a bit, I think there's a big
Yeah.
issue. And It's you hear these conversations all the time, and people say, music plays a big part in influencing the young, and this, that, and the other. But there's so many different factors to it, of course. But yeah, man, music does play a big part in it, and I think you have to have a lot of self-awareness.
Mm,
There's a lot of self-discovery that needs to be done, self-development, all those kind of things before you can, comfortably listen to certain things and it not
yeah.
influence you. Because even me as a grown-ass woman, I listen to certain things, and certain things will make you feel a
Yeah.
type of way, or it will change
Yeah.
the perception of things,
Yeah.
or you might be a little bit angry, or you might be a little bit more happy, or and stuff. So it's very important to kind of put the positive out there rather than the negative. Definitely.
Definitely,
Yeah.
definitely. From the time you get up in the morning, make sure it's conscious stuff,
Yeah.
even before you go to bed, like it's all about affirmations, and
Yeah.
you want to go to bed and lock off in the evening on a positive vibration, because what people dream about as well also plays a part, your dreams. People
Big
don't
part.
believe your dreams, guys, okay? Believe those dreams, because you want to just put on a vibration, a positive energy. You know what I mean? If you want
Yeah.
something, you want to manifest in the right energy, you have to be conscious of what you're taking in day or night, even whilst you're sleeping,
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
because the clock is
100%.
24. It's 24.
No, it's so true. And it's like, do you know what? I was talking to my daughter about lucid dreaming, and then I said to her, do you can we really are the creators of our own reality, yeah. And I said, your thoughts, they do manifest, and when you're sleeping, you're in a subconscious state. So anything that's been on your mind,
Mm.
or you might have a dream, and sometimes I say to her, try not to go to bed worrying about something.
Yeah.
Write it down, and give it to the universe. Do you get
Mhm.
me? Don't go to sleep with that on your head, because then sometimes then there was a time when she was really worried about something that was happening at school and stuff, and she
Yeah.
had a bad dream, and then the next day she went to school. Two had a phone call from the school, you need to come. She'd had a fight, and I just said to her, but I told you to let it go. You have to give it to the universe,
I
give it
just
to
didn't
God.
let that go. That dreams. She's like, is it?
And do you know what I mean? And so then she had to come and make it a reality. She's thinking, well, if I box down the girl in my dream, let me go box her up in real life, innit? But I said to her, you mustn't
Oh
take it as that. And that's where
no.
the positive thinking comes
Yeah,
in. But they don't
definitely.
listen. They don't listen.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, they have to learn in order to sort of like
Yeah.
not make those mistakes again.
And that's what
But
it's about, you know what I mean? They don't mean well, but no means sorry mean any harm, should I say?
yeah,
But
yeah,
yeah, things happen. That's part of growing, right? Part of
yeah.
learning. So God bless her.
I know. I felt for her. She's like, nah, man, I'm saying 1,000 affirmations before I go to bed.
I love that.
But yeah, but it's all about, it's all about navigating your way through this human
Yeah,
experience, because it is crazy. Don't get me wrong. Like I always say we're living in the 3D. Living in the 3D is crazy, but
absolutely.
you have to exist in the 5D to exist in the 3D, and
Yeah,
and vice versa. It's a crazy thing.
you
But
have
yeah, man. But I just that it takes me on to one of my other topics as well. So
yeah.
one of my other questions was,
Mhm.
does being an artist slash creative give us the ability to see things on a deeper level? What are your thoughts on that?
Definitely, because I feel like the worst way I can word it. Again, you have the experience, you know. So
Yeah,
having that experience then makes you know, okay, I want this for myself, and I want things to be like that, and I don't want to put out that type of music. And because again, like I'm an artist, and again, I have children, so I need to be mindful. I
yeah,
have godchildren as well, nieces and nephews, so they're watching, and cousins as well.
yeah.
I'm like, I like your music. I'm thinking, right, my cousin, suppose I'll say something wild, but it just comes a way of go through that way there. I'm on live, my children. Sorry, guys. Um,
That's okay.
literally a bus around. Um, so yeah, it comes to a point where it's just like I have to be mindful of what I'm
Mm,
pushing out there, because I don't want them to look at saying, well, mum, you're doing it, or
yeah,
cousin Kanika, you're doing it, or auntie, you're doing it, and I'm not putting that. So it's definitely important, and it makes you become that person you need to be. You know, even if you're not that person, you are that person. For me
Yeah.
personally, I just know that through my music, I can do better. I can move a certain way, you know, gracefully as a woman as well as a
And the
queen. Like
But
we,
yeah, the queen, because we
you
have to
know,
remember that as well.
yeah,
We're nurturers. We're all we play so many different roles as
yeah,
women. So you have
yeah.
to carry yourself a certain way.
Because, you know, again, I can't lie, keep talking. I feel so for like my mum right now. But again, I'm coming back from an era where I'm dealing with Lauren Hill and Faith Evans and Mariah
Mhm.
Carey and Destiny Child and, you know, like
Yeah,
all of them. And they had clothes on, you know, SWV, like, you know, TLC, they
yeah,
had clothes on. I don't understand this generation we're living in. I can't lie to you. Like, the no
it,
clothes business for me is like, where do you leave a bit of privacy for your partner? You
yeah,
know, why does the world have
yeah.
to see? Why would we have to sexualize ourselves as female artists to push it out just to get likes and views? Like, that's not my thing. You know,
It's
you're
so
either gonna
wrong.
like me for my music, that's your business, really.
Yeah,
So,
it just
yeah, I'm not here to
no.
sexualize anything whatsoever.
No, do you know what? It's actually quite disturbing. Like you said, I think we grew up in the best times. Do you know what
Best
I'm
one.
saying? We grew
Hmm.
up through a generation where, especially as black women
Yeah.
weren't, you had one or two who, but they were considered wild. Do you know what I'm saying? And they were out of the box and whatever, but it was okay for them because it was very few. Now
Yeah.
it seems to be the narrative. It seems to be like
Hundred.
if you're not the tech sells in it, so if you're not showing yourself, or you're coming with a wild story, there's a wild story about you on
Yeah.
social media, it's like you're not famous, or it's like you're not worthy
Literally.
of being anything.
Literally, because we get it. If I was there to put out, you know, stuff that doesn't need to be put out there, guarantee you like to comment, but I'm not here for it.
You're not
I'm
there
not
for
here
that.
for it. I want to put out music. I want to put out positive vibrations, you know? It's
Yeah,
not, you shouldn't be able to get more likes and stuff off of, but that's the industry we're living in, you know? But for me,
yeah,
I just won't be selling my soul like that. And that's
yeah,
another reason why I produced Standards. Standards was like, a track that was like, I'm gonna keep my standards high,
yeah,
and I never ever sell my soul on
yeah.
many levels because I'm not selling myself, not doing nothing to get famous. I'm not showing myself to get famous. I'm not showing myself to get the views, the likes. You either take me for my music or you don't, my
There
mic,
you
you know?
go.
And I think
Yeah,
a lot of people, women as well, I can't even speak about people. It's more the women because men can really, you know, do what they do.
yeah.
But women, I feel like we have to do better. We have to,
Mm,
in order for the men to take us serious,
do
if
better.
you want to be a wife, you're looking for a husband, ladies, okay? Do better.
Mm. It's real. Listen, it is so real. You know what I'm saying? Like and like there was a period quite a few years ago now.
Yeah.
There was a stage in my life where I was going through that divine feminine journey and trying to find myself as a woman and stuff. And I thought that, I do all these podcasts, these events, certain stuff. And it's like, men yes, they will look at you for your attributes and all these
Mhm.
different things. And it's like, sometimes it's weird because you're taught, yeah, man, use that.
Mhm.
That's what they're looking for. So use that. And there was for a brief period, very brief, I was a little bit low vibing. Yeah, I'll be honest. I was very low vibing for a brief peak,
Yeah.
and I kind of used that. And then I stood back and I thought, do you know what? This is not me.
Yeah.
I'm not doing that. Like,
Yeah.
what? Why should I have to do? Why should I have to, show my breast, or like have myself out and
Mm.
showing myself? I've got a daughter. I've got to remember. I don't want her looking at me and thinking my mum's out there doing a madness and
Right.
showing up herself.
Right.
Yeah, you can love yourself. You can be in touch with your body. You can do all of those things, but you can do it in a way that is graceful. 100%, I believe in it.
Definitely. You can
And
be
if
wearing a good clothes.
yeah,
Okay. Because if you're
yeah,
curvy, it's going to show, you know? You can just
yeah,
wear what you wear gracefully and stuff like that. And you appreciate yourself. Your
yeah,
other half will appreciate yourself.
yeah,
And men that don't even need to be even seeing you in that form won't see you like that. You know what
yeah,
I mean? And if they do, that's them still seeing you gracefully. I think there's
Yeah,
no respect seeing when women be doing all that stuff. Again, not coming from a judgmental place, because I feel like a lot of women need to go through, you know, especially if you're in low vibrations, like you said, in order to get up
yeah,
there. Sometimes they need that, you know, they need a positive ear or whatever it may be. But
yeah,
if you know yourself, you know yourself. And if you respect, I think more than importantly, you
yeah.
know that it's not the way,
And
Yeah.
it's no, it's definitely. I think it's about unlearning to
That's
relearn.
right.
You get me? Because
That is it.
don't get me. We all go through phases and stages through our life. Like I think life is just a series of so many
Yeah.
journeys. Yeah, and it, when I was at that place, it was because I was getting attention and I was getting this, that, and the other, and I think because of some things that weren't healed within me.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, this is
Yeah.
great, this is great. But then
Yeah.
when you actually look at it, and ego plays such a big part in how people move. Because you know what, like
Yeah.
especially doing all these events
Mhm.
and stuff and that. Really, I've seen you at, I've been at an event that
Yeah.
you've been at and stuff. And some
Yeah.
of the women there, yeah, and I'm not going to speak on the men. I'm speaking on the
Yeah.
women, especially
Yeah.
our
Yeah.
sisters. Yeah, the
Uh-huh.
way they're moving, I'm just there's no sisterhood. Yeah, and there's no they're just horrible. They're so like bad minds and looking at seeing me, yeah, I'll look at another woman and I I love to praise other women. I think we should all come together and lift each other up because we ain't got
Yes.
it easy. Let's be real, we
Yes.
ain't got it easy, innit?
No.
But do you know the majority of the time, as much as women will say, "Oh, men are this, men are that," women are too. Women are out there putting other women down. They're doing
Listen.
them all. Oh, did you
Listen.
see her? Did you see what she had on? Did you see how she's moving? She's
Yeah.
really nice. And
I,
I'm like, huh?
I don't. I've experienced that so much. I feel like as well in being a majority of a team where it's men and I'm the only
Men,
female,
yeah,
so I have to then have my little
yeah,
stanza amongst the men, and I'm protected by my bros and stuff. But
mm,
I feel like definitely when you're going out there and you're pushing your stuff, like women and black women as well, it's just like there's not a lot of us that are in a space of elevation, wanting each other to
no,
win.
no,
Do you know what I mean? Like I'm
no,
heavy on that. If I see a woman like, oh, you was good, or I'll give you a follow or a like it. There's nothing wrong with reposting.
nothing
It
wrong.
doesn't mean that person
Don't
is
it?
better than you, or even if they are better than you, push them.
Yeah,
It's like it's okay. It's
yeah.
okay. I don't want to stand in a place. I'm looking at you, and you're looking at her. She thinks she's
I
nice. No, I'm just me.
can't. Do you know
And I've
what,
had that as
Kanika?
well. You'll see
Honestly,
me once. You'll say hi. Next time you see me,
you know
it's
what?
just. I'm like,
Like,
okay, like,
what it's so and the level of do you know what with me I'm so big on energy. I will feel people before I see them innit? And I'm just like do you know that
yeah,
with me I can't do the fakeness. If I don't like you, yeah, I don't like
that's
you, and that's
it.
because my spirit told me
That's
not to
it.
like you and I got my reasons, but I'm not going to go out of my way to be horrible to you. But
Yeah,
I'm always around men, the other people who do, and there's one other
yeah,
woman who does the
yeah.
podcast with us as well,
Okay,
but she's just me and her are on the same level.
that's
Very,
it.
I'm very duality. She's very
Yeah,
duality. And
yeah.
I just find I'm more comfortable around men. I really
No,
am. And
I
that's
said the
so
same
sad to
thing.
say. Yeah, it's sad to say, but at the same time, do you know what I mean? I just feel like you can't, you know where you are when it comes to the men. They will tell you like it is. With the women, it's so false.
Yeah,
And it's only now at this stage in my life that I've actually found a group of women that I do another podcast with. We go live on a Thursday and we do events and stuff. And do you know
okay.
what? No, but not everyone's in each other's pockets.
Yeah,
Nobody's like, oh, what are
that's
you wearing? Or did you see what? Everyone's just on life. And we're
it.
coming from that kind of aspect, and
Yeah,
everyone's very balanced. And if you got something to say, just say it.
say
Like,
it.
yeah,
Honesty is the best policy, and I'm not
mm,
here. I think once you're in this space and you realize like yourself, like myself is my only competition, I'm
yes.
watching nobody
Yeah,
else. Like
and I
me.
want to
I'm just
nobody
trying to
but
be better
myself.
than me
Yeah,
yesterday. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like
yeah,
me, the person I was yesterday, I'm trying to be better than that Kanika there. Today I'm gonna be this
yeah,
Kanika and so forth and so forth. And anyone else, like I want you to win, but I'm not watching you. I'm really not
yeah,
fucking watching, if you're doing something, like even for you, I see what you're doing. I'm like, Zizza! I
Oh,
feel like
thank
it's
you. I
hard and
appreciate
showing,
it.
you know, and I like what you're doing, and same, like, I'm not ashamed to be like, no, I don't want to be in her thing, or I don't want to be like, it's not that, you know, it pushes
Yeah.
you, it pushes me, you know, we share experiences and, you know, motivational words, and yeah, so much. So
Yeah.
nothing is ever wasted. So I feel like us being in that, oh, I don't like her and don't like her, what is that really doing for you?
Yeah,
Apart from
I just
you
can't do it
understand
with
it.
you. Yeah,
Mm,
that falseness and the, you know, I just think you should always just strive to be a better version of yourself.
definitely.
We're all we all should be striving to meet our higher
Yeah.
self, our highest self, our highest state. Not watching what everyone else is doing. I'm very lucky. I come from a family of women. The men are great in my family, but the women especially,
Yeah.
they're very strong women, and I've always been taught to, you know, self love and self acceptance and be able to kind of have a
Yes.
word with myself if I'm doing wrong or those kind of
Mm-hmm.
things. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
so busy in, do you know when people think like, oh, what is she thinking about? Like, if people could were in my head and actually saw what I was thinking about, you think, bro, let me jump out because I'm so tunnel vision. I'm
Yeah.
not thinking
I don't
about
even
anything
see you.
that's going
You
on.
know, like
Yeah.
I don't even
Get
see you. Like,
it?
trust me. 'Cause I feel like even when we move as a movement, some people are like, "Raw, who's that?" But we don't. Like, it's nothing. You know, like come and approach us and stuff like that. When we go and we're busy and we're active, we do what we do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, and so forth. And same like me and the solo. When I'm where I am and stuff, I just know I carry myself in a way that is. You know, I might have that natural resting face that I think we all have, but it's
But
all
that's not
love.
who you
When you
are.
start talking to me, I'm like,
Yeah, but you're the sweetest person. You get me? Like it's not. But this is what I'm saying. People are watching people way too much, and I think if we stop watching
yeah.
people, yeah, then it would be so different. I'm going to read a couple of these comments because you guys are going off in the comments. So big up Gina. Gina Bailey says, "I feel like love isn't grown organic anymore. So many tick
Yeah.
boxes. And do you know what? That's true. I actually
Mm-hmm.
feel like
So
that's true. Everybody's got their, you know, I blame all this red pill movement and all the foolishness that people just talk because it's always men against women and you know all that madness. I just think, yeah, love is a bit. It's a bit crazy
yeah,
in this generation. You gotta attract what you need. You
that's it.
can't just be out there doing anything and anyone.
That's it. You know, the world is a
Yeah,
big world. Find what you love, and love what you
yeah,
find. You know,
yeah.
so
No, of course.
100.
And then big up Shantae. Uh, and then Miss Madge UK 79 says, yes, you can be sexy without skinning out. I
That is
agree.
right.
So
that
true. Big girl out here showing
is
madness on
so
sometimes, you know, when
straight.
you just like, because I post a lot, but then I'm gone. Don't get it twisted. I hardly scroll in
Yeah.
it. But I remember
Yeah.
one time, like, sometimes if I do scroll, I'm thinking, bro, these women don't, they're showing everything,
The whole
innit? Like,
body on breakfast they have from morning. Yeah, dead there.
everything, yeah, breakfast, dinner, and tea, boy. They're showing everything what's going on, and I'm thinking, yo, I had to, you know, I had to check one of my female friends about it. Like, it's a good friend of mine, and
Mhm.
she's amazing. Everything she does is amazing, and she's
Yeah.
doing really well on her fitness journey and everything. But you know what? She posted something, and I was like, yo, you didn't leave anything to the imagination on that one. I beg you take it down because I can't be your friend, yeah. And I'm not going to talk about you, but I'm coming to you and telling you take it down. It's
That's
disgusting. Take it
it.
down.
That's
And
it.
she looked back and she was like, "Do you know what? It's a bit too much in it." And I said, "Yeah, man. Don't need to do
Yeah.
that." But men don't, and then women do that, and then they wonder why men don't respect them. They're not going to if you're showing bare
That.
lippage out on the bum. Like,
That.
allow it.
Do you understand what I'm saying? That. Because if you want to be that future wife or, you know,
Mm,
a mother to his children, he needs to know you're carrying yourself in a way that is, okay, yeah, that's my
mm,
woman, you know? Not
yeah,
every man can see her. Not every man can even think any weird thoughts.
yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Naturally, men will be men. We know that. But you don't want to put nothing out there for enough man to be even watching before he's even gone there. You get what I'm saying? So,
Yeah, because
yeah.
it's not. I just don't think it's not a good look,
It's
man. It's
not.
really
It's
not a
not.
good look.
Definitely not
Um,
attractive.
yeah, really not attractive. Gina says, ego can be so poison, and yeah, I think. the ego is such a don't get me wrong, yeah. I was reading something the other day and it was saying that we all need a little bit of ego in order
Yeah,
to do certain things, and we
yeah,
do. I think, like, especially, like I've got a lot of friends who do music and things like that, and they do say, and
mm,
I've spoken to artists before, and they say I do build a kind of an alter ego
yeah,
because that's my music
yeah,
side,
yeah,
you know?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Definitely, you have to have that. When you before you go on stage, like you're a chill person, and then you have to just, even some people got a bit of nerves. You have to just pipe up yourself and push it into your music. And if you don't, either way, you need to become that person that is in that space, because
yeah,
different tracks have different vibrations, different energies. So if you got up tempo track, then however you're feeling, you need to work it out and put that to the side and come out your alter ego. You know what I mean? So vice
yeah,
versa. So it's definitely a thing. As long as it's positive, it's
yeah.
definitely not poisonous. But the negatives, is I hear you on that. Some egos can be poisonous for real.
Yeah, and it's really really horrible. And like, don't get me wrong, I love, especially, like, I love seeing confident women and women who, but the type of confident woman that I like to see and that I rate is one who is unapologetically
Yeah.
herself, but comfortable with doing it, and it's not an act, and
Yeah.
it's actually who you are. Don't be fake. Like, I can't cope, yeah, with the "oh hey hun," and I'm like, fuck off, because listen, that's not you. You're talking bare shit in my face. You get me? And then when I'm gone, you're gonna say a madness. So please
Yeah.
don't do that. You know them
Keep
ones.
it,
You know
keep
them
it
ones.
chill. Yeah, keep it chill. Just don't say
Yeah.
nothing. You know what I mean? I'm
Yeah.
about that. Like, if I, it's not that I don't, I'll never say I hate somebody. I feel like the hate word is strong. If I
Yeah.
just don't like you,
Yeah.
then you just know I just won't say nothing. Like,
Yeah.
I'm a person as well. I try not to even say anything because I'm that Pisces. My
Oh, your
body language
Pisces.
speaks
I got a
heavy.
Pisces rising. We're beat, man.
Yeah,
Swear down.
our body language speaks heavy. Okay, sometimes you like have to. I think I tell about this all the time, like your face or your body language. Be saying
Yeah,
things,
your
but
your
be
whole
about your
vibe's gonna
mouth.
say it.
It's real. I'm like, oh gosh, like, am I really like? Can you really sense it? Like, yeah, Kanika, you might want to just calm down a little bit. So
No, but one
yeah,
thing about that though is that, do you know what? It's like you don't go out of your way to be that person. It's
no,
people will draw it out of you. And do you know what I find as well, especially, like, do you know when you're a woman and you're around a group of men and stuff, do you know other women on the outside, they will zoom in on you, innit?
yeah,
Straight away, they will zoom in on you. They want to know who you are, da, da,
yeah,
da, who you think you are,
yeah,
and blah, 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 blah.
yeah.
So naturally, you are going to get your back up, because I know I do. And I'm just like, are you all right? Like, what's
Yeah, literally, literally. Because there'll be a few, but they make sure they see the guys post. But when it comes to the one female, it's like, I see you, girl, but
Yeah, I see you,
it's
girl, but I'm
really
not going to
like,
lie to
you know
you. I'm
what I
not going
mean?
to support
Like,
you.
yeah, it's
Mm,
like it's okay. I'm not. It is what it is. I just know. I just know how you are as a person, and I was like, hey,
yeah,
that's you. But yeah, it's funny. I just really put those things over
it's a
my
bit.
head,
It's
honestly.
just, it's just a bit weird for me. Like, I just don't understand where I come from is women support other women, innit? For
Yeah,
me to see another female out there doing a thing, do you get me? Like, when I see your post and when I see you doing your
yeah.
thing, I'm
Yeah,
proud. Like, for me,
yeah,
I'm proud. I'm like, yes, you get me. There's a black woman out
yeah.
there doing her
Thank
thing.
you.
She's creative. She's an artist. She's not out there showing up herself and moving
Mm-hmm.
in a mad kind of way.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean?
thank
She's
you.
graceful and she's carrying herself with pride. But I
Yeah,
just think women who are vibrating on a low frequency, they hate that, because you know what it is?
mm,
It highlights what needs work in
definitely,
them. That's what I believe. Mm.
definitely. I like to be. I would like to think I'm that type of woman where you light up rooms without even having to do anything.
Yeah.
As soon as you step in a room, you don't need to be seen to be seen. You know
Yes.
what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I just step into the room and my energy and everything speaks 10.
Speak
It's
for
not a
itself.
case where I have to be like, wearing all this flamboyant stuff or
Yeah,
whatever
I'm
it is and
here.
just push
Look, I'm here.
myself.
You
Yeah,
know
or be
them
like,
gal.
yeah, make it loud
Yeah.
and like not that. I just come in.
Just be
If
just
you know, you
be
know.
humble in it, and just be,
Yeah.
and you know what, and it's my auntie sent me this thing the other day, and it said to be seen and untouched is a superpower, especially as a woman in this
Yeah,
generation. And
yeah,
I'm like, yeah, like when I go to all these events and everything, you can see who the rinsed out gal are. Do you know what I'm saying? And then they really put themselves. Now I speak straight. Like
there you
most
go,
girls
me
don't
please.
really like me. Them girls don't like me. Them women don't like me.
No,
They
no,
don't
real
like me
talk.
because I'll say it straight, and I'm just saying, well, I'm not you, and I don't need to do what you do, and I don't need to. I don't need to be loud about who I
Right,
am. Do you know what I'm
right.
saying? My accent's different anyway. So when I go, I just go. I go up on that stage. I'm on the panel. I
Yeah,
say what I'm saying, and then I'm gone.
yeah,
Back, go get my train back to Cardiff. I don't give a fuck
yeah.
about y'all.
See,
Do you know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, it's just there's so much hate out there from other women. And I just feel like they do you know, especially when you I know you'll understand this because especially
mm,
when you're a woman, like I said, being around a big group of men, yeah, they
yeah,
will look at you and they'll think, well, why are they all fussing around her, or why are they all looking after her, or why am I not getting that attention? And I'm just like, it's not attention, it's a different kind of thing.
literally.
People don't
My
understand.
brothers are
They're
just
there to
literally
protect
supporting
you.
me and vice versa. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like,
yeah,
and again, I think they'll probably think the same way as well, where they might think as men that probably other women might support them or however they like. Do you know what I mean? Everyone thinks different. Because I
mm,
always feel like you probably feel like the opposite sex is more supportive than your actual same sex. It's
for
weird, and I
real.
heard this when I was doing A&R, like studying in music and stuff a couple of years ago,
Hmm.
and they said even when you look at maybe your playlists, like how many male artists would you have as a female in your playlist? And it's weird, like a lot of people don't actually realize you're probably more listened to, and it's not because you're not supporting. Like it's more likely what they're talking about, and you're just taking it back to the old school. Do you know what I mean? Or
Yeah,
obviously now in this generation, I feel like the fellas have more got men and that type of energy, or even their own music. Because to be honest, really, I don't really listen to much music apart from my own these days,
yeah,
and
because
that.
that's what you're about and what you're on. So you have to listen to
Yeah, and
about what you're
even right,
on.
you just listen to your music. Well, yeah, because I need to make sure I'm doing better than I did last time, and what I'm speaking, I need to keep that abundance up. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah, it's a thing. It really is a thing.
I love that. And that's where the self-development and elevation comes into play. A
Yeah,
lot of people don't want to elevate, they're afraid of change, they're afraid of the self-reflection, they're afraid of that shadow work. and
yeah,
and, and I just think, being in this human, we're literally all spiritual beings living a human
mm,
experience. You gotta want to do
have
better
to.
because I just feel like if you don't want to do better, then what do you want then? What's the end result? Because for me, the end result has to be beautiful. Like that's it,
Yeah,
regardless. So what do you want if you're just
literally.
there?
Because
Yeah,
every year you have to understand, like where you was yesterday. In order
mm,
to grow, you can't be there today.
see it
You know
there.
what I mean? Like we're here and we're doing what we're doing. Yeah, that was to get you where you was today.
Yeah,
So in order to get you where you today and to do better for tomorrow, you need to keep it. You can't mix and blend with certain people anymore, or you can't
yeah,
continue some people and stop smoking and drinking or gambling in order to save money and to do that. Like you have to do better than you was yesterday, especially if you've got,
yeah,
you know, habits and stuff like that. You have to elevate. It's important
yeah.
because no one's gonna be the same. That's
No,
right.
it's true. You can't
I don't
stay
want to
the
be the
same.
same, you know?
No, man. And like for me, I don't ever want to be the same. I want to
Yeah.
be forever change, and I want to be a better version of Chiddy. Do you know what I'm saying? I don't want to
Yeah.
be who I was yesterday, because yesterday's Chiddy can't do for me what tomorrow's Chiddy. Do you know what I'm saying? It's
It
not.
literally,
Yeah.
literally, and it's who you surround yourself with as well. Because yeah, we can look back and say when we was younger, we had a bag of friends, like that.
Mm,
You knew everybody, but was it
no,
really your
they
friends?
weren't.
No,
They
that's
weren't. They really
right.
weren't.
And even
Mm,
some of them friends, you can say, "Do you know what, you was for the season.
mm,
You was for that season.
mm.
You used to get me through that, or for me to get you through that, or we just to
Yeah,
know each other at that time, rocking at that
yeah,
time. But where I am now, you're not ready for that.
yeah.
You know what I mean? So I need
You
to
can't
leave
meet
you.
me. If you want to
Yeah,
meet me there, then it's cool, good,
that's
because we
it.
might. Do you get me?
That's
Some
it.
people
And
come
again,
back
there's no
together.
judgment. It's just that, I've still got mad love for you, but I'm not
Mm,
rocking with what you're rocking with no more. I won't be where you're
yeah,
going anymore.
yeah.
I'll be here doing what I need to do for me. And a lot of people don't understand that. Like, I've lost a few friends like that because it's just like, well, I can't even call them friends because they're not
They,
here. But,
they,
you
then
know,
they
yeah,
weren't. They
it was
weren't.
never that. Yeah, exactly. But I
Mm,
realized you was just for that period of my life. And that's okay. And I wish you the utmost best. But
yeah.
we can't rock in where I am in my life now. Just
No,
can't rock, you
it's so
know?
true, and yeah,
Mm.
I can definitely relate to that. Like I've lost so many people. Like I
Yeah.
think it's like, a lot of people, like loads of people know my mum. My mum's a very friendly person, and because of that, they think they know you, and you're associated with different people and blah, blah, blah. But I'm not like that. I'm really not
Yeah.
like that. I'm very vigilant about who I have around me, and
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I have like a 4 year cycle. So I've had to like this last piece of my cycle now.
Yeah.
It was just I went through a lot health wise, and I was very ill, and it taught me so much. I was gifted
Yeah.
time. I looked at it as I was gifted time by the universe yet to work on myself and to work out what was going on.
Yeah.
And anything that needed to get left got left, and it was with love, yeah, like with love, but no thanks. I
That's
can't
it.
do that
That's
because you
it.
see things for what they are. When you go through things as well, especially in life, you see things as they are, not for what you want them to be.
Yeah. Definitely. And I feel like even I think it starts for even from the like the
Yeah.
pandemic. That's really where it started for me because it's like you
Mm,
started realizing that okay, you're doing this and you're doing that and where are they? You
yeah.
know, but
Yeah.
when you're not doing that and you're low, everyone's there.
Oh,
You know what I
everywhere.
mean?
But they people like
Everyone's
to see you
there.
know. Mm,
Yeah, exactly. So that was the reason I was like, oh, okay. And start doing this and start doing that. And so yeah, it's just knowing your circle.
yeah.
You know, knowing your circle. Like I'm not here trying to even have a whole entourage. Like I'm very you know, solid
Yeah.
and I keep my group tight. I don't have many friends and stuff. I know like these are my bona fides. I know many people. You know, I
Yeah.
love a lot of people, but will I refer you as my friend?
Mm,
Respectfully, no. You know,
no.
and that's
No.
just because you're not a person I'll call day and night.
Mm,
You know, that's your friend. You get what I'm saying? Like that's and you have to keep that sacred.
yeah.
It's important. You can't have your energy just out there too much.
No, you
So
really
yeah.
can't, and that's another thing
Mm.
as well. Because like
Mm.
I'm a very friendly person, and yeah,
Same.
I just like to uplift people and
Yeah.
stuff. But you know what? I've had to learn how to kind of not draw back, but just to practice a little bit more discernment when it comes to that, because people are crazy out here. Do you get me? So and I'm also a very private person as well, but I think I've
Yeah.
mastered the art of letting people think they know so much about me, but they actually don't
Yeah.
know shit. You get me? And it's like, but when people clock certain things and they're like, right, you actually know that person because see me, yeah, you could be my bestest friend in the world, but if we're in a different setting and we're doing certain things, and people don't need to know I've known you for 10
That's it.
years. They don't need to know that
That's
because
it.
when people know certain things, that's when they try and do all the madness, and I'm not on it.
Yeah. Too much bad mind energy, you know.
Bad
Show people
mind.
what they need to see. And,
Hmm.
you know, tell people what they need to tell and it's just this it. You know, you have to keep a lot of things private in your life because
Yeah,
not everyone is there with good intentions. You know, you're
100%.
not what you're speaking is not always going into positive ears. Do
Yeah,
you know what I mean? And not everything
yeah,
needs to be spoken. Like it's really that, and I've had to learn the hard way. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah.
I definitely can understand over time. It's like some things just if it's not your real one, leave it alone.
Leave it alone. Leave it alone. Don't try and change it. Don't try and alter it. Just leave that
Yeah.
shit. You know when you
Exactly.
get that feeling, yeah, and you just say, okay, fuck it, my intuition telling me no.
Oh,
Let me just
yes.
let me just stuck up
Yeah.
now because yeah,
I'm definitely intuition aura person. Oh my god,
yeah,
I'm definitely that
yeah,
person because I just can tell if you just if you just the way you move or what you say if you're that I definitely I'm heaven aura.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, it's true. It's so Gina says some people have gaps in their development even as adults. Oh, come on. It's not,
Yeah.
it doesn't, and she also says you have to read the room and treat people accordingly. And it's definitely about treating people accordingly. I just give like I never when you get like a bit of a bad vibe or bad energy, I
Yeah,
don't reciprocate it. But what I will do is I will treat you accordingly to whatever you're giving me
yeah,
is I won't necessarily give it back to you, but I'll
yeah,
make you will know that I'm onto you and I'm
yeah,
not doing that. Like and
yeah.
I feel like especially I know that you're a very spiritual person, Kanika. I can feel that from you and you know what I mean? And it
I'm
speaks volumes.
growing. Yeah,
Yeah, it definitely speaks volumes, and you can, and everyone's on a journey and stuff. But I
yeah,
just feel like, do you feel like, when you're elevating, yeah, and you're
yeah.
out there trying to do better and stuff, do you feel like it's like, you're constantly, not constantly, but every now and then people are just trying to attack, attack, attack. Like and it might not be like they're trying to pounce on you directly, but somewhere that
Oh
there's a bad
yeah.
mind
Oh
there.
yeah. Like I'm not ever gonna give no one no
Yeah,
leverage when I speak
yeah,
this. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
But people know. You
Mhm.
know, like again, I do what I do. I don't do anything to be that person or come across this way. Do you know what I
Yeah,
mean? And I feel like, unfortunately, I feel like for me, that's a boost for me though,
yeah,
because it's like, oh, okay, I'm doing something right. Thank you.
yeah. Oh my God, you know that?
You
Yeah,
know, I don't even
honestly,
take it the negative way. I'm like, okay, so thank you.
uh,
Clearly, yeah,
that's
I'm
how I
right
know you're
lane.
high vibing, man, because that's how you have to, when people are doing what they do, yeah, I think, cool, I must be on the right path because
Yeah,
and,
like,
and it does give you that boost. It's when people hate on you or when they give you that, sort of that bad mind energy or that vibe or whatever, that's when
yeah.
you know you're doing well. You're
Yeah,
doing well. You're doing good.
like all the side eyes and stuff like that. It's like whatever. I don't even see, tunnel vision, like you said. Just
Yeah, yeah.
therefore, I need to be there for. I support. What I need to support, and I keep it moving. And
Mm,
my world is so busy. I don't actually have space for any negative, bad mind energy.
no.
Even if I wanted to, it physically can't come up because I'm just unbothered.
Yeah,
Like
yeah. And there's too much to be done. There's too much,
too much.
um, yeah, too much high vibrational shit to be done to be what bothered about what other people thinking.
Yeah,
Like we've all been through periods of our lives where we like the validation or we seek the validation or we get upset if certain things happen. But I think as you grow and you flourish, yeah, and then
yeah.
you bloom, especially as a woman, you just don't care.
You don't. The butterfly's not
You
worrying
just
about the
go,
caterpillar. Do you
mm,
get what I'm saying?
yeah.
The
Yeah, I love that
butterfly is
analogy.
not
That
worrying
analogy
about the
was so
caterpillar
sick. I'm gonna write
until
that down.
on the tree. Okay, the butterfly is flying high. You know what I'm
Yeah, that's
saying? While
the
that caterpillar saw the tree, does the branch down lesser. Yeah. So
yeah,
it's really that. Yeah, and I don't. Again, everyone's gonna get to that, but it's not a race. Nothing before it's time.
yeah.
Everything in the Most High's timing, and so when you get there, you get there, and don't shit, excuse my French, and anyone shouting. Do you get what
No,
I'm
it's
saying? Like,
true.
just
Yeah,
don't do it because you're gonna want to get there, and you're not gonna get there in a positive vibration. And most high be like, no, because you've been that blocker. So it's important on the way you carry yourself, the way you move with people. People don't know. That's what is stopping a lot of people from getting to that point because you're not living within, your highest frequency, your highest form.
yeah.
So yeah,
It
everything you
definitely,
do
yeah,
means a lot.
yeah. It blocks ascension, man. When you're not
Yeah,
when you're not and when you're operating on that low vibing shit, yeah. You don't realize you're blocking your own blessings and you're stopping certain shit from happening for you because I think when you look at other people with
yeah.
envy and with all that hatred or you're like look at what they're doing and
Mm,
stuff, you're not, how do you expect because I think people who do that, they always think they're just going to surpass that person. That's the goal for them in their heads, isn't it? There's
yeah,
you can do better than that
yeah,
person or whatever. But in fact, you've already shown you can't.
yeah,
It's not me or you they've got to prove that to. That is the universe. You've got to talk to God
yeah.
about that, not me.
And
Because
even
I
if
don't
they
care.
do, I feel like nothing's forever.
Nothing lasts forever.
And even if
100%.
you get to the top and you race, it's not gonna be pure. It's not gonna
Yeah.
stay. It's not gonna be have a long living. You know what I mean? It's not gonna be like timeless music, whatever it
Yeah.
is, because you didn't do it in your purest form. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like you have to do everything has its stepping stone. And if you're trying to rush to the top and try and get there because you want to race and all that, yeah, it's just not. There's so many ways, like Yeah,
Yeah,
so many
man.
explanations, but
Yeah.
yeah.
You need I just think you need to stay humble and just be organic, like Gina was saying. And big up Shantae. Shantae says, one more time for the people in the back, you'll get it in the way of your own ascension. Yes, that's a
Definitely.
word, you know.
Yeah.
That's Shantae's always dropping words in the comments.
Yeah,
Big
like,
up her and Gina though, because them two, they're dropping gem after
yeah,
gem.
definitely.
Honestly,
I
gem after
agree.
gem. But it's
Trust me. Even
so
the one who
true.
says not everyone should have access to you.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah,
That.
oh yeah, I didn't see that one. Yeah,
That.
no, it's true. Because you can't
Trust
let
me.
it be letting anyone
No.
and everyone into your world. That's toxic,
No.
man. I feel that's
Literally.
toxic when you do that.
Yeah,
You know, when
it's too
everyone's
much.
got everyone and anyone around you, and people, they've got easy access to
Yeah,
you.
no.
No, 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 no,
Literally.
no.
I can put on one hand, how much people I have come in my house in a month.
Same, it's
Yeah, I'm
my,
saying
and it's
it means
family.
nobody.
It's family who come in my house as well.
Yeah, like,
I
unless
don't
you're
even have friends
family,
here anymore.
then really, even my girls or something like, don't let no one know where you live. If you want to meet
Yeah,
them, go up the roads in it, so they can
yeah,
literally live up there around the corner.
yeah.
Because if anything happens, you need to know, like, right, that person knew where I live, and that person, not even that you're putting out that type of energy, but your house
Yeah,
is
of
sacred.
course.
Like, it's what vibrations you have in your house is important. So I'm all about my frankincense, all them things that, you have to, because it works both ways. Even when you come out from the road and you coming inside and cleansing and bathing and stuff and putting on your fresh
Mm.
clothes, like, it don't stop. People might think we're even mad about how we're speaking, but it's
It,
truth. Like,
it's real shit, you
it's
know.
real.
Mm,
Trust me. You're just putting that bad energy on you from work or whatever it is, and you come into your
mm,
own space. Yeah,
yeah,
full cleanse,
and
full
that's why. Do
cleanse.
you know what? Like I meditate a lot. I meditate in the morning. I meditate midday, and I
Yeah,
meditate before I go to bed. And any energies that I've been exposed to, because I'm an empath, I feel everything in it.
yeah,
So anything that I've been exposed to, I have to let it leave
yeah.
me
You have
because
to.
because people's energy, man, it can, yeah, it can really fuck with you. It really, really can.
Yeah.
Um, Gina says, I have a meme on my phone and I keep it. It goes, I live in my own world and you need a wristband to get in. I'm on that. I am,
Listen, shut
I'm,
real talk.
I'm about it. Trust me, I'm about it because
Yeah, if you don't
nah,
have
man.
that key, that respect,
You're
wait.
not coming in. Sorry. Put your name down. Your name ain't on the list, you know. Yeah,
Yeah,
man. You can't.
exactly. Clothing carries energy. Thank you, vibes. Oh, it's a thing.
Yeah,
They mum
100%
always told me
vibe.
you're coming from school. Take off them clothes there. One beard.
You know them people who go in and they go sit on their bed in their club.
Oh no!
Nah, man.
What?
Nah, man.
Uh-uh.
Freak that.
Don't come even put on your house clothes even on my chair. You
Yeah, because
crazy?
that's
Let me put that
crazy.
one sheet.
Yeah.
No, I'm so sorry.
No,
Mm-mm.
it is crazy because people don't realize how deep energy really is. Everything is an energy, a thought, a feeling, a person, a touch, whatever. It's all energy. And it's like, a lot of people, I used to have these conversations with people, they look at me like I was strange. And now they're like, "Do you know what? That's real. And I'm just like, oh my God. You have
Trust
to be
me.
switched on. You
You have
really have to
to.
be switched on.
It takes
Shantae says,
time.
sorry,
Mm.
babe.
All
Sorry to
right.
cut you there. Shantae says, releasing energy is so important. Otherwise, the tension gets stored and it'll manifest physically.
Yeah.
And then Gina says, that's why there's always a throw on the sofa when people come over. Got two throws. Sit on there. When they're gone, put that in the washing machine. Because mad. Mad.
No, real talk. Because, yeah, energy is tough, and I'm glad other women and queens in the room are feeling it, you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
cats as well, and kings, because I feel like a lot of people don't know, they don't realize, so when they're going through life and navigating everything else, you're not realizing how much you're picking up and on your shoulders lingering just because you haven't done certain things, So
Yeah.
I hope people take heed and just understand that, yeah, the way you move daily
Hmm.
is important, the way you put your places, what rooms you enter, where you go. Where,
Yeah.
if you don't have a good inkling about going out that night, don't go. If
Yeah.
you don't, vice versa, and anything, if you don't think that job is for you, don't do
Don't
it.
do it.
It's important. Everything for a reason,
Yeah.
Go with that instinct.
No, of course. instinct and intuition are very, very. They say our gut is our second brain. If you get that feeling, then you have to roll with it, man, because
Yeah,
it's
you
not.
have
It
to.
hasn't come to you for no reason. It's happening
Right.
because it's trying to teach you something.
Do you know what I mean?
100%.
Yeah, so I'm having all of that.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I love that. I love that. I love having these
Mm,
type of conversations with people because you know what? I feel like it's more of a collective
mm,
now because people are
mm.
actually they're really switched on and kind of into it. There's no right or wrong in this life
No,
because
no.
we're all just navigating our way through. But you know, if we can have these conversations and everybody, we think, oh my God, like I did a live the other night and a woman messaged me. She was like, I thought I was the only one who felt that way about certain things, and it's
Yeah.
nice. It's nice to put that energy out there. Vibe says, I burn incense after someone's been in my home. People carry negative energy without releasing. Listen.
Yeah. Listen, my name's frankincense. All of that.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
get
it's a
tell
thing.
that sage out and burn some
Yeah,
sage.
literally. You have to because it's a
Yeah,
thing. You have to literally just be in the whole cleanse energy just to motivate yourself and evolve, you
of
know?
course,
So important.
because
So important.
it can lay heavy as well. But you know what?
Mm.
I got a scenario for you, innit? You know, 'cause this week I was like, oh shit, I got a scenario because I love a little scenario.
Yeah.
One, and then my good friend. She's brilliant. She's so brilliant. She's brilliant. Like she helps me with contents and stuff. And she said,
Yeah. I
"Yo, I
love
got a
that.
wicked
We got
scenario." She said, and
the
she
friends.
then she goes, "The woman you're speaking to does music, innit?" And I went, "Yeah." She went, "Yeah, yeah, yeah. I got a sick one." So she sent me this one. So this is courtesy. Big up Kaylee. Thank you, Kay, for this. It's a good
Thank you.
one. So so here we go. It's a bit of a mad one still.
Okay.
So, me and my partner have been together for 8 years. I've always been into music, and I was at an event, and everyone was freestyling on the mic.
Mm,
The friend I was with encouraged me to take the mic and do my thing, and the whole place went crazy.
mm,
People were coming up to me, telling me I had bars and how good I was lyrically. A guy approached me and asked me to come in the studio and put down some tracks. I was so hyped and excited because I've always wanted to do music, I've just never had the
mm,
confidence. I went
mm,
home and told my partner about it, and he went mad. He was so angry and he told me I had no business going on the mic, and that there was no way he was allowing me to go in the studio with some strange man I don't know. He said that if I do go to the studio, he's done with me and I really want to pursue my music career. But at the same time, I don't want to jeopardize my long term relationship with the man I love. What should I do?
wow. I was
Let me
just
just
like that.
slam
There it is.
slam the
Yeah.
iPad down, man.
Yeah.
So
I
that,
feel like, do you know what? I feel like when you're in a relationship,
mm,
I have to take in consideration whether it's 8 years, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years. I feel like we all have to make a commitment and have an understanding.
okay.
Now, putting myself in the other shoe, how would I feel if my other half, my partner, did that? I would, you have to put yourself in the other foot. You have to. And I feel like I would question it a little bit. Like I should, oh yeah, you want to tell me guys, Jesus, you're gonna side that just a little bit. Naturally, So
Yeah.
I think me personally, I would have gone to him like, look, babe, this is what's going on. How do you feel about it? I don't think there's anything wrong with submitting to your man. If
Okay.
he's not comfortable, whatever it is, it's not about control. A lot of women may say, oh, it's controlling or it's this or it's that. It goes about how it goes about it. Now, I don't feel like I even be in a space for a man to even get mad, but again, I can't. This is a scenario, right?
Yeah.
So I think I just have to kind of base it on how it's gone,
Mhm.
but I feel like she should just kind of understand where he's coming from. Um,
Okay.
and why I say that as well, because me being a woman, I think a lot of women, if you're artists, experience men aren't really who they say they are. They say they want to get you into studio and have other.
Mm.
Do you
Uh,
understand? So I'm looking
mm.
from that point of view. I'm looking like, does he really want to get you in the studio, or is that a way to get to you? Do you understand? And if
Yeah,
if you even have that even intuition or anything, sometimes it's just the best be like, respectfully, I'm gonna let you know, I'm gonna speak to my man about it. And if
yeah,
they start moving away, then you already know what it is. You know what I mean?
mm,
If they're like, yeah, cool, no problem, bring your man, whatever, then there'll be no
yeah,
issue. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
that's me personally. Like, I would always speak to my partner,
yeah,
explain this is what's going on. Tell that person as well, like, respectfully, I'm gonna speak to, my man
yeah.
about it and come back to you. That's what I would personally do. I don't know about any other women in the room,
Do you
but
know what, Kanika? Can I just say,
yeah.
I love, yeah, how I just love your mindset because see me now, yeah, because I got a Pisces rising, but I'm a Gemini, so I'm a little bit tapped, yeah. So when I read it, I thought, taking a piss, man's a hater, like. But then I read it again, and I thought, do you know what? Do you know men who like, yeah, come in the studio, they can be slime balls, they can be a bit, whatever and stuff. I've had men say to me, yeah, come on the podcast, and then me, I go there, and they're like, yeah, I thought you was on it, and I'm like, on what?
Yeah, exactly. Do you
You know what I'm
understand?
saying?
Do you understand? And
Mm.
men see men.
Yeah,
I've
they
even had
see
like
them.
I've even had like my partner say to me like, "Raw, that person likes you." And I'm like, "Nah, they're
Yeah,
just
because
my
we're
friends."
done.
And
No,
then
they
something's
don't.
happened. I'm just like, not like so bluntly, but they've just moved a certain way, and I'm just like, and he says, "You see, I told you." I'm
Yeah,
like, "Raw."
yeah,
Like, I didn't even see that. Do you know what I mean? So I
yeah.
have to put it up. Like, when it comes to that now, I will definitely be like, yo, do you think, and again, I
Mm,
don't think it's a controller thing. I also think, how would I feel? I would want him to come to me like, yo, babe, like, I'm going to go and this studio, my girl wants to collab,
mm,
respectfully,
yeah.
if it's that. And again, vice versa. I don't think it's no control. I don't feel like it's anything. And again, I feel like men will see men. So just be mindful. You don't want to go in a space where you tell your man, oh, whatever,
Mm,
middle finger
mm.
to you. You go to the place now, something mad happen. Who you gonna call?
It's true.
You
Do
still
you know
call your
what? It's
man, sis.
true.
Your man
Yeah,
tell
who
you, say,
you
where you
calling? And your man say, see, I told you so, I told
Yeah.
you.
So,
But
but
yeah.
again, there's so many different scenarios to it. But I think for that,
Mm,
I wouldn't feel any type of way. I would kind of understand that, gosh, okay, for whatever reason, that's how he feels.
mm,
And again, nothing before it's time, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
if it was the case where he says no now, then he might say, oh, no, do you know what, actually, I see him doing something, holler at him or in that time or whatever. Or maybe it's just not that because he just sees he's not actually serious.
Yeah.
So I personally
Yeah.
would just run with it, like respectfully. If my guy thinks it's, I'ma just hear it and be like, cool,
Yeah.
because there's many
Yeah.
artists to be working with in the world. It's not gonna kill you.
Yeah. Not
And really, is
just
it worth your
him.
8 years heavy relationship? No.
Mm,
Just for
mm.
a
No,
one track.
yeah, just for one nickel. No, that's long. Gina says she could ask why he doesn't want to support her dream. Shanti, because the thing is, it could be many different things. You get me? Like she says that he went mad and said she had no business going on the mic, but you don't know his mindset. He's probably thinking, right, you went there, you spat a couple bars on the mic, and then
Yeah.
man's coming and chatting to you, and then you're saying, yeah, 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 I'll come in the
Yeah, I
studio.
mean, for the
You put,
mic part, I do think that's a bit like
it's a bit
if
hater.
he's met you as an
Yeah,
artist, then there is that kind of respectful part. Like, you know what? Well, I met her as an artist, so at that part, I can't really, I didn't even really
yeah,
touch this. I forgot that part. Sorry, but yeah, I feel like that part is definitely like if you met her as an artist and respectfully, you're gonna understand that there are times that she's gonna jump on a mic because that's her love. You know
yeah,
what I mean?
yeah,
That's her passion. That's her thing. As long as you're keeping it
yeah.
clean, you're not, all of that and all of them things in the back. Then what's really the
But this
issue?
is
Do you know what I'm saying? You're
what I
carrying
mean
yourself
because
right.
we don't know those bits. You know what I mean?
I know.
There's so many different
I
little
know.
elements
It's
to it.
hard to like
So
say straight or the set. Don't give me these scenarios.
yeah, I know Denise scenarios, and they do. And they're to make your mind boggle, and you're supposed to think outside the box. But yeah, Shantae says they can work through it. In my opinion, I feel he may be upset or feel guilty that he missed the celebratory moment. He misdirected his energy to block her growth. He should pull up to the studio as her arm candy. I trust with some breath work and cooling down, he'll relax. For all we know, the vow that binds too strictly snaps itself. Boy, that's a deep one, you know.
Um,
Um, Gina says, just my opinion on a scenario. Like she said, she's been gassed up. It's something she has always wanted to do, but lacked confidence, so missed
yeah,
opportunities. So really, regardless of what he thinks, in those moments. It's about delivery. Shante says it's important for them to reach an agreement on it, especially since men equate respect to love. She's got to be mindful that she respects their agreements first. And Gina says he can be concerned, he can be worried, but delivery makes all the difference. Do you know what?
true.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes, like, do you know when I feel like when emotions are involved, yeah,
Yeah,
because like how many, we've seen films and stuff and whatever, and like a lot of these, biopics of these stars and everything, and there was always like emotion around it, and an
yeah,
angry person, an angry mum, or an angry dad, or an angry partner. So
yeah,
it's like I feel like maybe I think sometimes when you come together, when a man and woman comes together and it's a union, yeah, it's the both of you in it.
yeah,
So when that person's in a situation and then all these things have happened around them, you come back, you're overexcited and hyped up and stuff, and he probably felt away. He definitely felt away because he wasn't there in that moment. I can understand that, and you don't know what conversations they've had, and it could be just be being overprotective. He could be.
you know what I mean? Yeah, it's just a hard one because, like you said, you
Mm,
don't know their dynamic.
yeah,
You don't know if she was an artist before and then they had a conversation for her to stop music,
yeah, yeah.
and she's never got to that level. Who knows? Like, you know what I mean? Like, who knows really? But I feel like, yeah, it can fall both ways. It just depends how
Mm,
you go about it. But all for me, I kind of hear like 8 years heavy. You know,
eight
I
years.
think 8 years,
You know.
that's heavy stuff. You know, that's heavy enough to be like. You really need to know where your bread is buttered. You know what I mean? Is it a case where, yeah, you want to go into your music career? That's different. Then that's something you
Mm,
need to think about. Okay, is this the person you need to be with then? You know,
yeah.
there's so many ways to go about it because, again, everyone's for seasons. Now, I'm not going to say leave your 8 year relationship. Definitely
Mm,
not. But then
mm,
again, like I said, some people they've been in how much years relationship and realized that in order for me to do what I need to do for me, this isn't the person as well. So do you know what I mean? It just depends. Like it's hard because we don't really know what
yeah,
they're
we don't
going
know the
through.
ins and outs
But big up their friend
and
for the
everything.
scenario though.
Yeah. I know. I was just like, I was like, well, where did you find out? She was like, don't worry
Yeah,
where I found it. I
that's definitely
found
a good
it.
one. That can go so many
Yeah.
different ways.
It's a really good one because you can look at it from good evening, Lizzie. Big up Lizzie each and every time. She's always showing love and support, and I appreciate her,
Love
man.
her.
But yeah, man, it's mad because you can look at it from so many different perspectives, and it's just
Yeah,
like I mean, obviously, I think if you're in a union with somebody and you've got a talent or there's something that you do and you want their support, you want them to kind of back you if it's something that you're passionate about, something that you're in love with.
yeah.
Um, but yeah,
Thank you. That
okay,
Fantasia,
why
I
are you
made the
saying you look
famous
like
one.
Fantasia?
She's
Well, I
beautiful.
wouldn't make it
I
though.
appreciate you.
I can't see her in it because Instagram's just doing a madness. But I
Definitely
will
can't
watch
sing
it back.
like her though, but we get tagged.
But I
Thank you.
I know Kanika's beautiful anyway because I've seen her in real life. So it's all right. It's all right. But yeah, man, it's just I
Thank
just think
you.
yeah, it's I think when you're an artist and stuff
Yeah.
and a creative and you're in a relationship. I've spoken to people before, like people who are single and they just do music and but they just their lifestyles are wild, like they'll just do a madness because they're just out here, innit, really. But I think if you're in a union, there's a certain way you have to carry yourself.
Yeah.
You have to be a bit
I
careful.
think really is the way you want to carry yourself, I feel like if vice versa, if you know that, you have a partner that's a male and he does music, there is
Yeah,
that side acceptance to understand, okay, cool, he might want a modern in his video.
yeah,
You know what
yeah,
I mean? I just think there's a level of how far you go with it. We're not going to knock the models because I feel like, for you as a man, that's something you don't have to have a model, but if you do, keep it respectful.
very
You know what I
respectful.
mean? And same as a
Mhm.
female, if you do your music and stuff, it's all about what you wear, and you're not gonna have the whole Chester Road and cheeks
Yeah.
outside. And do you get what I'm saying? You're just not going to do it because that should just be for your man. So it's respect on both
Yeah.
levels, really. You know what I mean? Definitely respect
Yeah.
on both levels.
No, 100%. Lizzie says, this scenario, oh my God, I've been in my relationship for 8 years and still going strong. Both parties should support each other. And that is the length of time for me, you know. Because when I first thought 8 years, I thought, bro, like he's saying that he's gonna dash away 8 years if you don't stop. But obviously emotions were high in it. So
Exactly.
people say things in the moment and whatever.
Yeah.
And you know, especially like when there's anger involved, you're just gonna say a madness, and then maybe later on, I think that she should just like sort of calm things down, just sit down, talk to him, ask him to explain
Yeah.
why,
Yeah.
maybe, you know, ask
Yeah.
him to explain.
Ask why, it affected you and what it is, and, how could I have, come a bit better, or, what can change, or, whatever it is. Definitely have a conversation. Communication is key.
Yeah,
Like, I think a lot of us don't do it enough. You know what I mean? I've been guilty of it some
no,
occasions where you just
same.
act on impulse and you hear something you don't like, or, it's whatever. It's just like, oh, okay, whatever.
And then you just kick off. But yeah, I
Yeah, and
think,
then what? You're still, at square one. No one's resolved anything, and then, someone's not
yeah,
happy. I feel like that's not okay. So communication is 100%.
yeah, communication
Yeah,
is key. Lizzie says, my partner all writes music and has been writing a book also. Oh, big up your partner on that. That's
isn't it?
great, man. That's great. I
Definitely.
love like when people do creative writing and stuff. Shantae says, it sounded like she said they're in a healthy relationship. It would be dope of them to work through this, keep it real. They'll likely run into this scenario again with a new mate. Core traumas must be addressed. Yeah, it could be anything, you know, like, and it could be like there's so many things that happen in life that
Yeah,
maybe the partner has seen other women go down a certain road, and or certain things happen, and then maybe she told him who the man was, said come to the studio. That guy could be known for
yeah,
certain shit.
exactly,
You know what I'm saying? It could
exactly.
be,
His
yeah,
last woman could have left him doing the same thing.
yeah,
Yeah, get what I'm
yeah,
saying. So who knows? I feel like definitely communication, having an understanding is key. You know.
yeah.
And
No.
go place with each other. There's no shame in it as well. Not saying you have to be like a security guard, but
Mm,
if it is a case of like, all right, babe, you can come with me, right? See if that might change his
mm,
mind, like vice versa. Like, babe, yeah, do you wanna come? I'm going to studio with this girl or whatever. I feel
yeah.
like that all plays a part. Not saying again you have to be tagging on like my handbag, but it just gives you a bit of security to be like, look, this like you come first and this is what it is, and no man can't come step in and take your spot. No,
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, man. It's just
Yeah,
like, you know, I agree with you. I think communication is the key. You need to have conversations need to be had. You know, energy needs to be felt. You need to see where the other person's coming from, because I
yeah.
feel like a lot of people now, I just feel like in this generation, yeah, a lot of people don't know how to communicate, you know? Communication
And you
it
know
just is
what
a bit weird.
it is because the world is so open now where people like, if you got little problem, they're like, yes, I'm at. You get me? I've this, I'm at, because probably you got one next woman on my lineup, and it's not
Yeah,
the case. Like, people shouldn't be so quick to hop. And because
no,
social media is in your face, like, come on, let's keep it real. These apps or whatever it is, you can meet someone in like 60 seconds, you know what I mean?
no,
And people are quick,
really.
where back in the day, they weren't even trying to go to bed mad because
It,
that is your love. Okay, you're not even thinking, you ain't got nothing in your face, but all this stuff is in your face. So I think all of that as well doesn't help,
mm,
So it's loyalty has to be 10,
yeah,
communication has to be 10, you
yeah.
know what I mean? And if you've done each other wrong, whatever the reason, it's just like you have to make sure you're in that space to keep going, fulfill it, elevate it, motivate
Yeah,
it. You know what I mean?
yeah,
There's elements to this as well. So you can't water that section more than the other. You know what I mean?
mm, yeah.
Right.
There needs to be a balance. Oh, big up DJ Sticky Fingers. You see DJ Sticky Fingers. He is the host of this podcast, but he's
Yeah.
taken a sabbatical. He's on annual leave for a while, yeah.
Hey,
Um,
Shantae.
but yeah, he just Shantae, thank you so much for your contributions
Hello,
and your
hello,
comments. I
Sophie.
appreciate you.
Yeah.
Big up yourself. But yeah, man, I just feel like I'm not even going to give Sticky the energy that he wants. He just wants attention. He's going to make a comment soon, Kanika. Let me just warn you. Yeah, he'll make a comment. He'll say something about your beauty and say something about something. Sticky's too much, but he's a great
Yeah.
guy. He's actually good. He's actually good guy.
Okay.
He's good, but I just like to wind him up. But
Yeah.
Gina Bain says, it can be hard to communicate. Some people appear open but are actually very narrow minded and self centered. It's not to say you shouldn't be the center of your own universe, but there's a lot of ignorance in the world.
Bitch.
You know what? That's so true because yeah, I know people who you just can't communicate with them because they're just fucking
Mhm.
arrogant, man. And I'm just like,
Mhm.
do you know what?
Yeah.
But I just think these things need to change because I think in order to exist in this world, yeah, we need to communication is the number one thing. So how are we supposed to exist
Yeah.
in a certain way if we don't communicate? It's a bit weird, isn't
Yeah.
it? And what?
You have to communicate. You have to. It's important. It's
Yeah,
important. You
of
know,
course. What's
it's key.
Sticky saying? Sticky saying on annual leave, and I might have to slide in her DM. Sticky, see, this is what I'm saying
My
about
man's
you.
watching, just know that.
She's actually putting on the lip gloss for me too. Sticky. Well, I can't see Kanika, yeah, so I can't say that that's what she's actually doing, yeah. I can't actually see her on my screen, so I'm just gonna not believe you, and I'm gonna just say you're lying. He's a funny guy, honestly. He's a funny guy. But yeah, man, I just think that you know, if we just need to, as human beings, we just really need to do better
Yeah.
in supporting each other and for actually seeing things as they are. There is good out there, and I love to like really focus. I used to zoom in a lot on the negativity and the things that the bad shit that was happening around and stuff. But now I'm such a lover of like high vibrations and
Yeah.
everything that feels good. It really, really
Yeah.
needs to feel good. And it's just, I don't know, like there's people out there, you know, you got T.A.W. putting out good energy, you've got other movements putting out good energy, and these
Yeah.
are the things that need to be highlighted. I made a post today and I said it's so easy to focus on
Mhm.
the negative aspects of life,
Wow,
but if
yeah.
we put that
Yeah.
same energy into focusing on the magic that
Yeah.
happens, where we'd all be a lot happier.
Definitely. Definitely. Because I feel like even when you step out your house, you wake up in the morning, you have to give thanks.
Yeah,
You
give
know,
thanks.
like don't just get up and yeah. And I
Oh,
watched this
another
thing as
day.
well, yeah. And I watched this thing and it was just like, oh, even the way you speak, like it will be a good day. It will be a grand
Yeah,
day. You know what I mean? Like not oh yeah, same old day, different shit. Like
yeah.
I'm I'm so guilty of saying that.
Right.
Yeah, same old day,
And
different shit. But it's
I've
like,
had
yeah,
a
but
shit day once after
yeah,
I
you're
said
only
it.
saying like it's the same mode. Nothing's gonna be, you know what I'm saying? So you have to be very conscious of what you're even speaking.
Yeah.
Like it's a thing. It's crazy. So yeah, I'm heavy on energies, and I'm learning as well every day. Do you
Oh,
know what I
we're
mean?
all
Every day.
learning. Yeah,
Yeah, but
we're
I
all
definitely give
learning.
thanks for the
Yeah.
growth. 100.
I'm
I
so, do
give
you know
thanks
what?
for the
I'm so
growth.
great. That's one thing that I do. I practice gratitude, and I'm so grateful
Nah.
for what I'm becoming and who I'm becoming. Because when I look back to some certain parts of my life, I'm thinking, oh, wow,
Yeah.
you was really on that, innit? Like you was really depressing, innit? Like you was really there.
Kanika, you're really
What was
lost in
you
it.
doing? And I'm so and inside I'm such a happy person, and I just want that
Yeah.
to I just want to project that onto the world. And Gina's saying we allow we allow people to be that way by leaving them to their own devices. Some people need to be called out, and the ignorance needs to be addressed. One love. Yeah, you know. Sometimes you do have to pull people up on a couple of things. Like, you know what? I went through a phase that I don't know, like I just had now I've mastered balance, yeah.
Yeah.
If I had no balance, I'd either say nothing or say everything, yeah. So I'd rather just let you do your thing or I
Yeah.
cut you about it. But you do have to find the balance, and sometimes
Definitely.
Like, not every time, because sometimes people just want to be who they are, and that's just the way they are.
Mm-hmm.
And even though everybody's got the ability to change and to elevate, yeah, some
Yeah.
people just don't want to. They just
Yeah.
want to be stuck in that whatever cycle they're stuck in.
Yeah.
But sometimes, do you know what burns me the most is when you see a person and you know that they could do so much better, and you know
Yeah.
they're capable of the of the elevation, but it's just like they're just not getting it. So you do have to give them a little 1, 2 words every
Yeah.
now and again.
I think
You
definitely as well.
do.
I'm heavy on the timing though. You know
Mm.
what I mean? Like, I
Divine
mean,
timing is
just
real.
yeah. Like sometimes, okay, you can see that person ain't right for that person, but that's their person for that timing. You know what I mean? I think as long as
Yeah.
they're not doing them like fully wrong, or and I mean like physical abuse,
Yeah.
or do you know what I'm saying, any harm. If you're with someone and it's timing,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? And again,
Mm.
how they are now, they might all be in the next space together in 2 to 3 years.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it just depends. Like it can go so many different ways, but yeah, communication, elevation, all of that stuff, all the
Yeah.
shit is
All the good
important.
stuff, all the good stuff. Oh my God. Do you know what? Do you know this conversation? Like, I didn't know how this conversation was going to
Yeah.
go, but I knew that it was going to be, it would have substance, and I knew that it was going to be high vibing. And I thoroughly enjoyed it. I
Same,
really have. I
same. We
love
could talk
doing
all
these
night.
one-to-ones. Yeah, man. I love doing these one-to-ones because don't get me wrong, it's great when, like, there's all four of us on a screen and stuff, but I love doing these one-to-ones
Yeah.
and speaking to people, finding out, their views and how they think, and
Yeah.
the energy they're putting out. And I think it's a beautiful thing. And you get
Yeah.
to speak on so many different things. Do you know, like we've got, you're an artist, we've gone from music to energy to all those things, but all those things
I
have to
know.
coexist. They have
Yeah,
to
it
coexist.
comes back to one root,
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
vibrations. Like,
yeah,
it's a
yeah.
vibrations like this. If I could give one word, it's straight vibrations
Great
because
vibration.
for the vibrations to go, it goes through you as a
Yeah,
person, like your energy, and then again, vibrations. You know what I mean? Your energy, your waves, like everything, it just comes back to that. You as a person knows how to carry
yeah,
yourself and how to navigate and all of that.
yeah,
It is literally that. So I'm definitely heavy on that, and I feel like I have to, if I have that, God's gave me, most highs gave me that space to be like, I'm gonna give you a voice to use.
yeah.
I have to use it in the most positive way possible,
Oh,
so
that's so
yeah.
beautiful. Yeah, because you're a mother, and you're a nurturer, and you're a woman, and you're
Yeah.
all these things. And I think it's like I said at the beginning, it's so important for us to carry ourselves a certain way. DJ Sticky Finger says communication is the single most important thing in any relationship, business, romantic, etc. And it is. It is. It all goes back to one thing. It's communication is the key.
Yeah.
It's the key. It can solve or change
Mm.
so many different
Literally,
things. Yeah.
literally.
And what
Yeah.
Gina Baby saying, one love, one heart, let's stick together and we'll be
That's
all right, said
it.
Bob.
Well
Big
said.
Bob, big
Mhm.
up Bob. And that's what I'm saying. Music is a vibration, and music is an energy, and it's such a beautiful thing. It's healing, and I think it's got the ability to heal, and
Mhm.
it's got the ability to resonate with people and help you sort of
Yeah.
battle and conquer emotions and
Yeah.
all those different things. Very important. Very.
Definitely, because you don't know what a person's going through, whether they're having mental health or
Yeah.
whatever it is. I work in the NHS as well, so I see them
Oh wow. I bet
daily.
that's
Yeah,
hard.
and it
Mm,
gets heavy sometimes.
mm,
Like it gets heavy. So when I come back, I'm like, but I have to put that in a track or do a
yeah.
bit of writing or just like you said, isn't it? Just sit down and meditate.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying, or be in my own space because every minute I'm talking. As soon as I go to work, start at 8 and I probably finish at sometimes 2, 3, 4.
Oh
I'm
wow.
talking. So sometimes I come back and I'm just like, I don't want to say nothing.
You just want to stop. Yeah,
I
you
just
just
want
want
to
to
be
zone out.
silent, I just want to be in my space and I just want to, But
Yeah.
we just know like, okay, that's one, how she is.
Yeah.
And just two, yeah, she just needs a minute. So
Yeah,
yeah, I'm heavy on
man.
that.
Because we're all going through things, and we're all, we're all on our own journey, and we all do different things on a daily basis. So I just think to have music is to have sanity, really. To have music is
Definitely.
to have sanity, because it definitely helps. Miss Maggie UG79 said, "Yes, I agree. Music is a healer." Gina Bailey says, "Every lyric is a feeling or reflection, and it's relatable."
Yes.
It's a song cry. Oh, that's beautiful, man.
Yeah,
Yeah, man, that's
100%.
some beautiful words.
100%.
So, Kanika, at the end of every discussion that I have, I
Yeah.
always ask my guest to give some words of wisdom. So, even
I know,
though you have dropped
right?
no, you've dropped bare words of wisdom throughout this. Even though you've done that, I'm still gonna stick it on you, yeah, and I'm still gonna say you need to come up with something. You need to give us more. We need some words of wisdom from you before we go.
Okay. I don't
It's on the
want to
spot,
sound
innit?
like cliche
No,
or repeating myself, but I'm heavy on the don't dampen someone's shine to get to where you are.
oh,
You
I love
know,
that.
just shine in your own. You
Yeah,
know, shining where you need to shine. Don't force it. Don't let nothing be for you before it's time. Just be happy in your present. You
yeah,
know, because not even the future is promised, really. So sometimes we're just focused on where we're trying to get.
yeah.
Really, you just need to appreciate your present moment. So I hope you guys can take that and run with it.
Well, I took it in. I felt that. I felt that. It felt in my chest that sometimes we need to hear those words of wisdom, and I
Yeah.
do love that, and I appreciate you, and I just want to thank you so much again for just coming on and being authentic and being who you are. Because
Thank you for having
it's
me.
rare to find that in a world full of the world is crazy right now. So it's nice to just have authentic energy
Yeah.
on here and
Yeah.
have these beautiful discussions.
No,
But I'm
and
gonna
juices and keep doing what you're doing. We
oh,
appreciate
thank
it.
you.
See you,
Thank you.
Shannon
Well,
girl.
next year I'm gonna be doing lots of studio episodes. So when I
Okay.
do, you'll be on my list, and I will have you, and it'll be great to sit
And
down
I'm
and
bringing the team with me, of
yeah,
course, because obviously everyone's in
man,
different
bring the
space at the
gang.
moment. I think even Chances in studio time as well. So, but yeah, I'm here representing
Yeah,
for the team. So thank you from T.A.W to you guys. We appreciate you guys. Thanks for the
nah, man,
support.
big
Thanks
up
for the
yourself.
love.
Yeah,
Thanks
and
for
guys, go and follow if you're not following
yeah.
the abundant ones with a W ones. Yeah, go and follow them, and you can follow Kanika as
Yeah.
well. I will stick everything in the bio and the link. This, isn't it? But
Yeah.
yeah, I see people are asking where they can follow you, but I am gonna. But don't worry, guys, I am gonna put it in the
Yeah.
caption and everything when I post. But yes, Kanika, thank you so much, and I hope the
Thank you
evening
for
is
having
kind
me,
for you. And
beautiful.
enjoy the rest of your week, okay,
I will
love?
do. Thank you so much. Thank you
That's all
guys
right,
for
my
listening.
darling. I know. Take care,
Thank
guys.
you. See you
Bye.
later. Bye.